bem? Fala português? No? Okay. English then? Or Finnish? Anybody here speaks Finnish? No? So sad. My name is Mikko. I'm working for a company called localbitcoins.com, and I'm here to have a presentation what it is to work with money in Python and how our company is working, and it's a little bit like crisscross of software development and company practices and all this Bitcoin revolution. So bear with me if you don't care about the stuff I'm talking. And let's go back to the basics. How many of you know what's this? Please raise your hands. Yes, this is I call this a paper. And in Finland we have a paper industry, and we know that the paper goes away. As you can know that in the internet services like books, videos, movies, they have all go to internet and electronic versions, and you don't anymore go to shop to buy DVDs. So it's just a natural step that money also goes to the internet, and everything will be replaced online stuff if you are doing business online. Which brings me to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a virtual currency, and it's very, if you are a software developer, it's very, very handy, because you can actually go to your cell prompt and you can just give your Unix commands, send money, get money, and that's how easy it is. It's like very easy. The other thing, it works everywhere. For example, I had a friend from Australia who tried to book flights in Brazil. He actually booked the flights, but they had cancelled the flights because they couldn't process Australian credit card payments. That kind of things don't happen with Bitcoin. Also, if you are dealing with credit card payments, it's very common that you are accepting money from a stolen credit cards, and it's actually the merchant who is it's the shop owner who is going to need to pay all the costs. It's never the credit card owner who is losing his credit card and he always gets the money back. But it's the merchant who is taking the payment. Also, with the Bitcoin, it's more or less inflation safe. If you compare it to Argentinian peso, anyone from Argentina? So you know that the Argentinian peso is going like this, and the Bitcoin is going like this too, but it's almost the same. So it actually makes more sense to have Bitcoins than pesos. And the other one is that you are in the control of money. What happened in Cyprus, in Europe, that the government just came in and took all money from your bank account. It can't happen with Bitcoin because you are in control of your private keys, how to make transactions. And this is how Bitcoin economy works. First, you have this Bitcoin mining, that somebody is creating those Bitcoins. It's not very interesting anymore. It's mostly Chinese people doing that with the hardware factories and stuff like that. And those miners sell it to the centralized exchanges where we have speculators. Little bit like in stock market, they are hedging Bitcoin value up and down and try to make money out of the cost differences. And after that, we are a little bit closer to a normal person. We have in-person exchange, like you go to meet some person, like you come to me and say, I want to buy Bitcoins, and you give me reais, and I give you back Bitcoins. It's like a person to person. And then when you have those Bitcoins, you can go to online and buy some books or movies or whatever with them. I would say that you could buy drugs, sex, and rock and roll with Bitcoins, but let's say that you can buy domains and virtual private servers and stuff like that. So it sounds more legal. And if you want to build your own service where you're accepting money, we have a Django project which you can use. And if you want to know more about this, you can just come to and knock me, and I will explain you how it works. But I don't want to go into technical details in this presentation. And then this is our website I'm working right now. We have 10,000. Actually, that's wrong. It's 10,000 visitors per day. 500 new users per day, and about 350 US 350,000 US dollars goes through the website every day. So it's a okay business, and I think we have like 4% of all public Bitcoin exchange markets in the world. So it's happening on our website, and it means that it's very popular, and we get already some kind of scalability problems with the process. And how the local Bitcoins fits on this map is that we are an in-person exchange that you can, it's like an eBay. You can put an advertisement, our website, and in advertisement you say that, okay, I'm selling or buying Bitcoins with Brazilian bank transfer, and this is my exchange rate. And then other people can come to website and find your advertisement, and then they can contact you and say, hey, okay, I want to buy your Bitcoins. And the trick here is that we are supporting, because it's like in-person to person, it can work everywhere where we have people who can actually put up the advertisement and have some kind of payment method going on. So it works all around the world. Western Union, PayPal, and if nothing else, it works with the cash. And we have even guys who have a kind of deals that, okay, if you send me a MacBook Pro, I will send you the Bitcoins. Okay, and that's about our website. And now I talk about how our company works. In the 60s, when NASA was still doing this space business, and there was a space race going on with the US and the Soviet Union. If you went to visit NASA and asked Johnny Yater there, the guy who is cleaning the floor, that, okay, what you are doing here? And the answer was, I'm here to put man on the moon. So everybody in the NASA knew what they were going to do there and why they are doing the task, what they are right now doing. And the same thing is with our company, that every time you are creating something, writing code, writing blog post, or going to toilet, you know that how this will be beneficial for the company, how much money we will make out of it, or how less losses it will create. And this is very important because I have been in past been working with big corporations, and usually in there, if you are doing software development, you only see the costs. That you know that, okay, our project will cost like 50,000 euros because we have 5 persons and everybody is working for 10,000 euros per day. And those guys who are seeing these numbers, they are actually never seeing how much money comes out from the work. And it usually leads to the fact that you are trying to minimize the costs, and you are then moving all the software development to India because it looks like it's cheaper. But also you are going to lose your profit that way. So it's very important that everybody in your company knows where the money comes from and how it's feeding you. Then in Finland, we have a company who is doing taxi business. And if you go to work for this company, and it doesn't really matter what you are going to do. If you are building a website or if you are going to be the CEO of this company, the rule is that for first 2 weeks you are going to drive a taxi. So you are putting the taxi man hat on, and you are just going to do the very, very basic work, what the business is all about. And this way you can learn actually through your own experience what is it. And in Microsoft, they had the saying that when you are working with the Microsoft, you are eating your own dog food, because you need to use the Microsoft tools your own company is making. Then one Linux company changed it that, okay, we are doing SUSE Linux. So we are drinking our own champagne because they didn't want to call their SUSE Linux a dog food. But in our company, we call that we are eating our own dog shit. The code we are writing is so awful that it feels like sometimes that, And that's when you are creating a feature, you must be also be using that feature in some point of future yourself too. And that way, if you have created this awful form and you are filling in the form first time yourself, you see how awful is it, and then you go and fix it. And other one is just do it, because usually if you are planning something and you are making careful plans and then you are actually executing those plans, they are not probably what's going to happen is not probably what you were planning in the first place, and then you need to go to a drawing board back again. So our philosophy is that we just do some crap, then we put it out, and then we if it's crap, and it always is, then we fix it later and see how it goes, because of it doesn't really make sense to prepare everything perfectly beforehand. You are losing time, and your users are waiting, and so on. So we just put it out, and then we will see what happens, and we will fix it later. We are not really worried about like Chinese and Japanese people that, okay, I made a failure, and then you take this katana and say. So it makes more sense to just try it, and then you fail, and then you fix it. And then some bits about financial websites, because you're dealing with the bitcoins. It's a huge player in the gray and black markets, and it means that our website is website and users. It's mostly the users. They are constantly being attacked, so that they want to steal the bitcoins from those users. And it's a really pain in the ass when the Russian hackers are trying to attack your website every day. So first of all, I want to say that the first rule is that use Python. Because if our founder would have been using PHP, we would be already out of business, because the site would be hacked like 50 times. Or if we would be using something like a Java or Microsoft C#, we would be still like writing the service, and it wouldn't have been launched yet. So Python is actually the key that why we are still business. Other one is it's really a simple thing. I'm not sure if anybody knows this. It's I can show it. It's it's an app. It's called the Google Authenticator, and you probably won't see, but there's a timer going on, and for every 1 minute you get a new code. And when you log into website, you need to give this code, which is unique for that moment of time. And this kind of simple thing, it's a free, and this is not like it's an open algorithm, and it's a standard and stuff. So it's not anything Google specific. It's very easy to integrate on your website. And when you put that there, you can be sure that you get rid of all these password hacking problems, that someone has a stolen password and then they go there and steal our bitcoins and so on. And I know even in some countries we have a huge problem with the fact that in UK, Australia, and German, when you have online banking, you are dealing with your real money. You don't have a two-factor authentication. You have just like a username and a PIN code, and you can access all the bank account with that information. And of course, it's a problem because we have Windows users, and their computers get compromised with malware, which means that the hacker gets in the computer. It has a total bank account access, and then they are trying to convert those monies to Bitcoin so that they can actually move the Bitcoin somewhere else. And it's very sad because banks are really not caring about the user security, and it's always the poor customer who is losing their money. But if you are using two-factor authentication, there's no problem with this kind of malware or whatever. And one is also it's called Apache mod called fail to ban. It protects your websites against brute force attacks. Like someone is trying to log into your website 1,000 times with certain username, it will stop it after 5 attempts or so. And it's very easy to install on Apache or Nginx, and it's very easy to install your integrate to your services like a Flow or Django. And one more thing is it's called, because we are having this philosophy that just do it. It means that after we have done it, our server is probably crashing all the time. So we are using a Python tool called Sentry, which is a logging server. So we are not using the file logs, but all the exceptions and all the log messages will go to the Sentry website, and it performs a basic analysis for it, and it actually shows you what are the critical errors which happens like all the time and preventing users to do stuff, and what are like just happening sometimes once in a week. And it means that when you deploy a new change on the website, you go to see the Sentry and see if any errors start to happen there. And if there happens, then we just fix it quickly and deploy again. And that's about it. I think I can. Yeah, we are hiring freelancers. We want to have people who are working with the Django and Python. We have a lot of our business is growing fast, and we don't have enough time to fix all little bugs in all open source projects we are doing. So we hope that we could find people who can be reliable freelancers. It doesn't really matter where you are; we can pay you with bitcoins, and we can just point you a little tasks which you can do. You don't need to be even full time. So please come to KnockMe if you want any money. And then if you are a Bitcoin enthusiastic, we can try to promote Bitcoin globally. So if you want to bring Bitcoin to your own country, we can help you with there. And also, of course, if you want to have some Bitcoins now, I can sell you them. Just come to KnockMe later, and I will give you, so you can try them out. Okay, I think that's about it. And now we have probably a lot of time for the questions. Any questions? Yes, please. Yeah, that's one way also. But yeah, it's yeah, you can summarize it that way. There are two other ways, but that's the yeah, no, I think it's more like point of the talk is that you need to have what kind of company culture you need to be there behind that you can actually make a profitable business. I hope that's the talk. Other questions? Ah, it really we are paying our taxes to Finland, and it really doesn't matter what kind of money you are using, because in the end, if you are a company, if you are a private person, it might be a little bit different. But in the end, if you are a company and you are paying out money or accepting money, you always have a receipt. And if you don't have a receipt, you are cheating your taxman, and then you will go to jail. So you can, if you are having, for example, e-commerce site where you are taking Bitcoin transactions, you of course have this receipt and you put to your accounting. And in Finland, it's because virtual currencies are a new market and the exchange rate is going like few all the time. So the current recommendation is that at the end of every day, when you did the business with Bitcoins, you take the exchange rate of the day and use that into your accounting purposes. And with that kind of exchange rate, then you are paying the taxes of the transactions made. And of course, the problem is that you need to convert Bitcoins back to euros to pay the taxes. But we are it's currently if depending on your country, if you have a country like Finland or USA, it's very easy to convert Bitcoins back to euros and other way. So making euros to pay the taxes is not a problem. Any other questions? Please. think there are two parts in this question. First is that how you set the price of certain service or product, and the rule is that you never use bitcoins for pricing because the exchange rate is going like this, but you base your prices for euros and dollars for now. So when you are buying something and even if the daily Bitcoin rates changes as a merchant, you will always get the same amount of Bitcoins. Yeah, yeah. And other part of this question is that Bitcoin is so-called inflation safe storage of value that unlike what could be a good example, like United States dollars. So when United States needs more dollars, they will just print more out, and it means that the value of dollar compared to the service is going down. So the people are losing the value of the money they have on their bank account because it's inflating. But in Bitcoin, it's actually built in the protocol itself, how fast and how much Bitcoins you can have in circulation. So more Bitcoin mining comes to the network. It's the process of getting new Bitcoin slows down. So it's kind of balancing it out, and so that there is no inflation in Bitcoins. And it actually leads to the other problem is that when people get Bitcoins, they just want to sit on top of them and not to use them because of the it's guaranteed that in sometimes of futures those Bitcoins will be the double your value. So they are making waiting that Bitcoin price goes up and then they are selling them. Yeah, because there is a kind of upper limit for bitcoins, and it's 21 million bitcoins in the protocol itself. And now half of the bitcoins ever have been created, and the other half is left. It's getting more difficult, and I think it was 2040 when the last bitcoin has been created, and then we don't have any more new bitcoins. Yeah. Who sets the exchange rate of the Bitcoin? It's you. When you are selling or buying the Bitcoins, you can say that I want to have 5,000 euros per one Bitcoin, but it means that no one probably will come to buy your Bitcoin. So uh, basically, what happens right now, it's we have so-called centralized exchanges, which work more like a stock markets, and people are using average value of biggest exchange. So there's a website called bitcoinaverage.com which shows all the different values in different currencies, because it also depends if you are doing USD or euro. So but they just take the average of exchanges, and that's like the normal. Anymore? Okay, I think you can. Oh yeah, if you want the bitcoins, just go to this URL, and there's our website, and they will have my offer to buy bitcoins with reais. And if you have any more questions, just come to knock me after the presentation. Thank you.